Welcome to Keith and the Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Chemda, you know who's with us today? Rod Morrow from the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. Hello, Rod.
Hey, how y'all doing, buddies?
I'm
Good to
doing
see
well. We have some people backstage listening live as this is going on, and Paige is one of these people, and they said that they're looking at different jobs, and now that I think about it, maybe I shouldn't be saying this story in case her boss is listening now as well, right? Well, all bosses should be nervous, right? Maybe I'm joking. But anyway, said, they're calling my references, so this is a very exciting time. And I just remember anytime I handed somebody references, that is the scariest time when they're calling. Because then you got to call your friend up, hey, Adam, get ready, they're calling today, you know.
So wait,
5 people, I hope, you know.
I think Paige is actually a professional and is not having people call their best friend or anything, nor Adam Brown. Like, I feel like if you ever see a name Adam Brown on the reference, it's like, Adam Brown should be the code word for this is a fucked up reference, right? Like, hey, is Adam Brown there? Oh yeah, that's me. You're Adam? Absolutely. I bet you're calling about my buddy Keith Malley, who's the best. What was your question?
Yeah, I don't trust my friends to get it right. You know, I just feel like they'll pick up the phone and fuck it up. So, and lucky for me, I've always done a good job at the jobs I've had. So I can just use the actual jobs as the reference.
Wow, shots fired, Keith. Did you hear what he just said?
I don't know. If I'm legit. And, you know, I've had to I was the reference call for other people. I still got nervous. Yeah, hi, he interned for you? I'm like, yeah. And what did he do there? What did he say he did there? Would have been interesting if he called me first, but he didn't. So he definitely did things, and we were all pleased. Like,
y'all have hired people in the past. Have y'all called their references?
Good question. We should have asked for some, right?
If you wrote down names with balls, okay, good enough for me.
Right.
That.
Like you think we're gonna call. That's good.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
As long as it wasn't a 555 number, we're like, all right, you took the time. I could be calling a random person. You know what? Next time though, we should call all the references and record them just in case. That should be funny. We did interview people on the show where it's like, okay, let's kill 2 birds. You're having your intern interview on the show because you're either going to be cool or not, and our audience will know. So that's good. We also have had people want to interview us, and we're like, just come on the show and do it. I bet our listeners want to know ahead of time.
I just say, hey, here's this person's name. Audience, look it up. Thank you. Meantime, we'll try to get the personality aspect out of them.
Yeah, but then we get weird things like, oh, they have a pool. And it's like, no, not those things. Like,
I always hear that there's supposedly like rules to what they can even ask your reference. Like, It's basically like, did they actually work there? Or something like they can't ask how much you made or if you got written up. Right. It's such a weird thing to have to even have the reference, man.
It is, but it's also like an interview for you as the person who's being called as the reference. Like I've had someone call me for real, like, hey, this person worked for you. And I'm like, yeah, they did because they actually did. But one of the questions was, what were their strengths, but what was their weakness? And I'm like, fuck, they should have prepared me. Well, they are just so good at everything that I had the problem of not giving them too much because they could do too much. Did I pass? Did I get the job for them?
Yeah, I get nervous. I finish those calls. Again, I'm the one where they're calling me to help somebody else out, but I'm like, how'd I do?
Yeah.
They're like, what? I'm like, no, just saying. That was good, right? Business person over here is satisfied. A business person over there is satisfied.
Right. Like, do you find that you're like, hey, who is this? And they're like, hi, we're calling in reference. You're like, yes, of course. And I am picking up from my very good office in Midtown, of course. I only have 2 minutes because I'm very important. So please get to your questions. Snicky is writing in. She's one of the people backstage today. I was the reference from someone getting a cat from the pound, and it was terrifying. Thank you. Imagine they call your friend and go, yeah, we called Snicky. You suck. You suck so bad. We can't even give you a cat.
I just feel bad because in the like 2000s when I was job hunting, that was also the peak time of the like musical voicemail. So like I couldn't put my friends down as a reference because they'd be calling, they'd be like Jodeci playing, and then like, hey girl, it's Damien, just leave me a message or whatever. I'm like, this isn't Taco Bell or wherever you said was on this application.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Picture the reference. Let's say Snicky wanted to get the cat, and it's like, and you know her, she's a good person. Like, yeah, she'll be great with the cat. You know, she's a person, and it's a fucking cat. And be like, what's a negative point? She kicks dogs, but we're not talking about dogs, right? Talking about cats. How'd I do?
Cats have 9 lives.
Yeah, and she's like so not a dog person, which actually means she's like super a cat person. So if you think about it, her kicking dogs is actually good for the cat.
In fact, I'd hang up now if I were you, because I'm gonna get that cat. Or, I'm gonna hire my employee back if you keep yapping at me. Because now that I think about it, they're perfect. I don't want them. They're so perfect. Nothing negative. You could have them because I think good workers help. I think if all the businesses are doing
honestly, I'd give her 3 cats. That's how good she is. She's so dope.
She is so desperate for these fucking cats. I didn't mean it that way. I just meant she'll take care of these cats the best she could.
She's gonna be like a whole cat lady.
Yeah.
Like you.
I wanted to be clear. She could take it or leave this fucking cat. Okay, it doesn't matter. There's many options. Shit, how'd I do it?
A horse, a dog. It don't fucking matter.
That doesn't even matter.
I wish all of my phone calls I could like set it up so at the end of them you can go like, okay, we say goodbye, and then before you hang up, you hear some kind of voice going like, "Would you like to rate this call? Hamda would like to know your response." And then they're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how did Hamda do?
Right.
I love to hear what is the downside of the reference game in the cat adoption? You know, is it like, oh, here's a nightmare story. This woman turned out to be a cat lady. There were dead cats all over her house. She's a hoarder. And they're just like, who was in charge of checking her references? I'm like, did Mally check the references on this shit? He's fired.
Somebody asked me outside of a bodega, can I make anyways. That was me.
Actually, if you walk around Astoria, Keith has put up signs. If you need a reference, use my phone number.
Right.
It's actually a good business.
Yeah. $5 a pop. I will call and say the following words. For $10 a pop, I will say these following words.
Before the recruiters like get hip to your number game, like that's a good way to make some money, man.
Right.
For $30, $30, you don't even have to give me a weakness.
Yeah.
I'll get this done.
This is like, and you can use like white male privilege for good. Cause like as soon as they hear it's a white man on the phone, they're gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, okay, hire them.
See, that's what you thought it was maybe weird that Keith picks up the phone now and goes, white man speaking. Yeah. It's just part of his new business.
I do that and I act like I'll say, yes, a white, Caucasian, either one. Thank you. I'm sorry, just finishing a census. Hello? Oh yeah, yes, I'm Keith. Yes.
Happy Pride, neither here nor there. I'm not gay, but you know, we're all on the right side of history.
Wow, this guy's getting the job. He's getting the job. I don't know, sir. Thank you for your service.
You know how like you used to have to boast to have a black friend. Now Keith's the hot commodity.
Yeah.
Thank you. Silent Trailers, of course, was just the other night. Sadia writes, oh my God, I just attended my first Silent Trailers ever, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thanks so much to Xerxes for sending the ticket via email. I would never have made it had he not done so.
It is very difficult, the world out there. So glad we can eliminate some issues for you.
It was so cool. Love the post-game chat, too. I'm buzzing. Looking forward to the next one. Lots of love.
Become a VIP member now. That's who got the email. You didn't even have to go get a ticket. We just said, here's your ticket. It's in your email. So become a VIP now so that when we post the new tickets for July Silent Trailers, we could send that right out to you. KeithandTheGirl.com/VIP. And Silent Trailers was so good. Completely unexpected. so many unexpected things.
Yes.
Did not know that Sharon was going to get every single thing right.
Yes.
He beat Keith every single time, and also made it so that final trailer, anyone could win. It came down to the final trailer. Keith, I was so nervous for you because at that point it could go either way. And
scary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Won another one. And I like when you win because then everyone gets mad and they're like, this was rigged. Obviously, we don't care about Keith anymore. We need a new reference number. This fucking sucks. We thought we were set up. And yeah, that's fun.
Those guys really let Sharon down. Like that was like there was this sports reference coming up him though. I'm sorry.
I'm in.
There was this game where LeBron James had like the best game I've ever seen an NBA player have, like 54 points, some crazy shit. And then the guy on his team fucked up at the last second and forgot to score and didn't shoot the ball. And that's how it felt for Sharon Paul when she did everything perfect. Right. But then you got like Hollywood Craig Klein going over, and you're just like, fuck, man, if one of y'all could just get one right, y'all would have won. But oh well.
Now, in all fairness, Craig got one right, and I knew it was the one he was going to get right because it was like a movie from 1949, so it gave him enough time to catch up. I would like to say that Craig is worse at silent trailers than I am. He not only did he not know that the movie Breakup was what the clue was, he was like, there's no such movie as The Breakup. So he was just going like, you're making these names up of the
moment.
The clue was lemons for the record. Yeah.
Hopefully Xerxes can isolate this clip and put it on YouTube somewhere. But there's a moment of like 3 minutes of them trying to guess Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong or whatever, in every variation of the name. And I'm not saying that Keith knew the whole time, but you could see the relaxation on Keith's face. Like, I don't have to worry about Craig getting in a million years. I'm just going to keep letting them guess until I get it. And it was so damn funny because there was no shot in hell Craig would get it. I felt so bad for Sharon.
No, he was like, what's a Kong? What is he the king of? I don't get it.
He thought he was watching the latest Spider-Man. He was watching Craig, and he was watching the Andrew Garfield one the other day. And he was texting me about all these shitty things like I'm supposed to know what he's talking about. With that said, I appreciate him being there.
Right.
Mike Lawrence, of course, has autism, so he can do whatever he wants anytime he wants. And he couldn't make it because a friend of his wife's had invited him to something.
Okay. Well, he really let Sharon down.
That. And I'm glad that he figured out his diagnosis.
And just super quick, while we're talking about Godzilla and Kong, that one, Sneaky is quoting one of Craig's guesses was Godzilla fucked King Kong.
It's not.
I wanted to say close. Yes so bad, and he really was close. I think that Craig thought that Godzilla versus King Kong was some sort of like religious movie. Like, oh, there's a new god called Zilla, and he's the king of Kong. All right, is this a documentary?
He thought it was like War of the Roses. It was about a divorce and who gets custody of Tokyo.
Well, it was a great win, and I'm sure everybody that attended was able to sleep better than they normally do. So thank you, Team Keith. All right.
Congrats, Keith.
Speaking of winning, I see here that Johnny Depp, the day that he was declared the winner, if you ask me, between the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. After celebrating the court win, here we see Johnny Depp needing some help and a cup of something strong. There's a mug in his hand to exit the hotel room. He needed help exiting the hotel room in England over the weekend en route to a Jeff Beck concert. You could see he's a mess. He can barely fucking stand. But I'm sure that doesn't mean anything, by the way, about his non-drinking problem. That's just that you gotta... I just wanted to have maximum mirth and get snookered.
That's a good Depp.
It was after publicly announcing Grumpy.
I'm actually just practicing for a new movie I'm going to be in, which is Weekend at Bernie's. And that's why you saw this picture of me looking like a dead person on my way to a concert, which is kind of like the opposite of what you should die at the concert. But we're working on the script, and it should be good, guys. Get your tickets now. Why not?
On my bed.
I like how it's just like the way we treat everything so binary in America is like, yeah, exonerated.
Right.
It's like they went down the trial. There's like 11 out of 13 things he was found guilty of overseas. Over here,
violent things, by the way. Those overseas things, you know.
Yeah, violent. Yeah, domestic violence, 11 counts. And then over here is like even his lawyer, they have to pay her $2 million because his lawyer said it was a hoax, and the jury was like, well, it's definitely not a hoax. There was some domestic abuse happening. Everyone's like, Johnny's free, y'all. Hashtag free Johnny. Hashtag Caribbean. We back.
Could you imagine? It's like, you were found 13 out of 15 violent times they're saying that Amber said did actually happen, and you say to your girlfriend, like, if that was you, you know, you say, that was in England, honey. You know, Pip, here's the horse. Who's the president over there? A fucking queen of dragons? Right? Forget, I'm in America now, and we have normal laws, baby. Let's go out.
Imagine if actors had to put references down before they got hired.
Yes.
Like, hey, what was he like on set? A little grabby, but look at the acting. Look at that. Tell me you weren't moved.
You'd be surprised. Bosses actually like it when you admit a weakness. What's your weakness? But I have 5 Oscars.
It's very weird to tell you that his weakness is telling me I'm pretty, so I'm just going to skip that. Wait, I don't know how to, but I guess I'm pretty.
I think Will Smith should sue Chris Rock. I think we've come.
Why not?
I think we found
honestly. I love it.
For defamation or something.
Yeah.
Public humiliation. I don't know if you heard of calumny, but
I didn't literally slap the shit out of him. He did not defecate on the stage, and I take umbrage to that, and I like $50 million.
If you watch the tape, he obviously knew I was coming, kept his hands behind his back to antagonize me. Who does that in a fight?
I talked about the only thing I knew about Depp and Amber Heard was that one video where he's in the kitchen, he's slamming cabinets, he's obviously drunk. She has a camera on the side, so you can think, is she setting him up? Well, obviously, yes. She wants you to see that he gets violent. You wouldn't be able to make me violent and trick me and make video of that if I'm not a violent person. It was a very scary video. This person writes, Mrs. Daniel Jackson says, the video you saw with him slamming cupboards, context is his mom died that morning. P.S. Doug Stanhope came out before all of this to speak against her, I remember that, and got sued for it. Seems to not be shared in the media. No offense to Doug Stanhope. I think he's one of the greatest. He's been on our show multiple times. Very generous with his time. How the fuck would he know?
Yeah, right.
Also, he hasn't been on the right side of everything, okay? Again, with peace and love, I think he understands how controversial his fucking shit is. And when Greg Giraldo died, he was like, oh, yeah, Greg wasn't doing his drugs good, and that's why he overdosed and died. I mean, he has a different perspective. It's so funny. I just watched an interview with Doug Stanhope, and he grew up in AA because his mother got sober when he was a kid. So he's like, AA taught me that, like, these people are laughing about the most horrific parts of their lives. I'm sitting there as a 12-year-old laughing my balls off. And the only thing you have to do is give it up to God. And he's just, he has these sort of skewed versions of things, but they are from his perspective, and he is funny about it. But I don't know. Are we taking his are we calling Doug Stanhope for a reference?
How come he wasn't on the stand? They brought in everybody else.
Right. Yeah.
I was there for a minute. What the fuck?
It was weird too, because like we had a person write into our podcast and they left like a comment about the trial, because we were both kind of like, yeah, it sounded like he did it and got away with it, but whatever. And the person wrote in and they used the initials AH. Like for the AH thing, and I was like, AH. It took me a second to like, who the fuck is AH? Amber Heard. But then later in the same comment, they called Johnny Depp Johnny, and I was like, that feels like a tell. Like you,
Right.
it feels like you picked a side. One of these people's is initial, and the other person is your best friend Johnny.
Johnny Scrumptious. Then he went to the stand. But
He should have did it. He should have did it as the Pirate of the Caribbean.
If I had to pick somebody, right? Well, right? It sounds like he kind of did. I would pick Amber 1 only because I'm so annoyed the way Johnny was talking. Anytime you see she's talking. Anytime you see him, they have to speed it up because we don't have all day. And there's a million cuts so that you hear one sentence. That would annoy me enough. Guilty. Electric chair. Talk. Can you picture it though? Let me say this to Mrs. Daniel Jackson. When your mom dies, you think that could be something you could do? Slamming doors, yelling at your girlfriend. Did something happen to you this morning? I don't think so, he said. You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. Now, I don't know what crazy she could be referring to because this just happened this morning, but she apparently said crazy, and he said, I'll show you crazy. But hey, who knows? Your mom died and your head's spinning. So you're slamming cabinets and pouring mega pints of wine.
Oh, he must have been real close to his mom.
Yeah.
Right. She would want you to keep those cabinets nice. Those were hers.
But that being said, totally in for Pirates of the Caribbean 8.
Sure.
Definitely need Captain Jack Sparrow back, reprising that role. It's time to put some life back in the franchise so we can figure out what's going on out here.
Also, aren't we a little surprised at Keith's response to that Johnny Depp video? Aren't you so into closing cabinet doors?
Right.
Well, you could hear he was closing them so hard they were popping back open.
He was closing it so hard the glass was breaking. It's like it's closed, but and then I picture my ex looking at me like, "Is it closed now?" And that whole trial gets me heated. So, in all fairness, I guess we all have our sides. Saturday Night Live star Horatio Sanz. Remember this guy?
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that y'all think Keenan is.
Wow.
Like, no impressions, not that funny, and couldn't keep a straight face during a sketch.
Yeah, he's not still in, is he?
No. He was in 2000. He was in some time ago. Let's see. He was with Will Ferrell, Tina Fey during those years. So it was a while ago. Let's see here. He sexually assaulted a person. This woman saying she said sexually assaulted me as a teenager in front of Tina Fey, Will Ferrell, Maya Rudolph, Rachel Dratch. This woman, anonymous, Jane Doe, alleges that Horatio Sanz rubbed her vagina over her clothes as other cast members looked on at a Lower Manhattan loft party, the SNL after party.
Oh my goodness.
I looked up and noticed that many members of the 2002 SNL cast included Faye, Rachel Dratch, Will Ferrell, Maya Rudolph, stood in the entranceway commenting to one another as they observed Sanz groping me. I was 17. The Pennsylvania woman also claims that scantily clad sex workers were at the party, prompting Sanz to lift her breast out of her shirt and then hold them in her hands for the benefit of the cast and crew. He paused as though he was going to expose them to everybody and then put them back in my shirt. Faye and Dratch were looking at us and laughing, this woman says. When I looked at Faye and Dratch, who were excitedly giggling and talking with their hands over their mouths, they looked directly at me and Sanz. They were startled and positioned themselves behind other people. Rudolph looked grossed out. She says she was horrified and told Sanz that she was uncomfortable after realizing, quote, I was on display for most of the SNL cast to see. In her lawsuit, the woman claims she met Sanz when she was 15. She was running a fan website. He invited her to a taping of the show. He was around 31 at the time. Allegedly went to invite her to several after parties where he allowed her to drink and was touched inappropriately. He also asked for photos during these years-long cyber sex affair. So this started at 15.
Ew.
In April, NBC Universal filed papers asking to be let off the case since Sanz allegedly carried on the abuse off the clock. So they're saying NBC is saying we have nothing to do with this because it's SNL party, but it wasn't SNL time, so per se. And I remember do you remember some time ago, Hemda, we were talking to some writer, and they said, I will just talk about our days. It's like, oh, this was some time ago. This Horatio Sanz thing just came up, and I got to deal with that. I don't know if you remember that, but this was not too long ago, but some time ago. Like, this was news, and I guess really it's going somewhere in the court system now.
That I cannot keep up with the touchers in Hollywood.
Right, that's fair.
With the names, with who did what, with it's just, now every time you mention a name on the show, like a well-known name, I'm like, fuck. Well, right. they didn't just give to charity. What'd they do?
I feel like we need a website called like cancelled.com that just keeps track for you. So you can just like put the name in the database or whatever and be like, oh shit, that's what he did. Cause it is hard to keep up. I do remember hearing this story. The thing that was weird to me was like the implicating the cast and the people at the party, because they would have to know her age. They have to know like a lot of stuff. And then like even the reaction Tina Fey and them would have had, I would understand that reaction of like, this is ridiculous and shocking and weird. Not like they might not see it as abuse in that moment in the way that, especially at like a SNL funny party or whatever, it really takes somebody speaking up for a lot of people to even recognize shit like this is so fucked up, right? It's like, oh yeah, that is the way to look at that. But I guarantee you in the moment at that party, they weren't thinking like, they probably think he was a creep, but they weren't thinking like, oh, this guy non-consensually did this thing to a 17-year-old girl.
You know what? I was thinking that also, and I wasn't sure if I was right about that or not, because it's like, oh, here are all these other people. And I'm like, damn, I guess it all comes down to, I could have been in the room watching and being shocked and not knowing if this is the relationship he had. Again, not knowing her age, even though like, I'm sure she looked younger than him, but
several after parties where it sounds like this is going on for 2 years, 15 to 17 years old. At the fifth after party, I'm like, hey, when are you going to, she's a little.
Yeah, from the description, so it was multiple after parties, or he started grooming her at 15 through this online
multiple after
shit?
Parties. 31,
okay.
She was 15. Allegedly went on to invite her to several after parties where he allowed her to drink and touched her inappropriately.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, somebody would have to know, like, because I like literally, I don't know that I could just look at somebody and be like, that person is in a abusive relationship. And then the other thing is somebody 17, it might take them a while for them to realize it's an abusive relationship. Like you sometimes you have to get to the age where you talk about this all the time, where like you become an adult and you're like, oh, what the fuck? What he knew? Like I was 17 and thought, oh, it's cool, I'm hanging out with celebrities, but he was fucking 28 or 31 and he definitely knew this was inappropriate. And that's probably why the lawsuit's coming now instead of like suing him at 17.
Right.
Anyway, he wasn't that funny, so I would have just reported him for not being funny.
Done.
You know what I mean?
And now watch, you will get in trouble for minimizing this, saying you want to cancel him just because he's not funny, not because you might have been sitting there in a room and completely giving this man a pass.
No, Rod's saying it's a bonus.
It's a bonus. Like in addition to him being this is what I call a faux hawk. In addition to him being an abuser, I never liked him because he wasn't funny. So I'm even more righteous than the people who are just now canceling him. Mm-hmm. He was never on to be canceled in my house. I hated his sketches
in my house, and
I would change the channel every time. I didn't even watch SNL a lot of times because he would be in a sketch with Jimmy Kimmel and they would not be able to get a line out.
I get you. A woman in Missouri says she had sex with a man in a Hyundai Genesis, infected her with HPV. So this woman says, hey, you're insured by GEICO. Mm-hmm. I want money from GEICO for getting HPV in your car. She did $5.2 million she's awarded from GEICO. I don't have the ins and outs that how this makes any fucking sense, but I'll tell you the story nonetheless.
Whoa.
I mean, was he covered for bodily collision? Because that...
Rear end. The Missouri Court of Appeals is siding with the woman who won a $5.2 million award against GEICO in a case that centers on a unique auto injury claim. The woman says she contracted a sexually transmitted disease in this Hyundai sedan, whose the owner had it insured by GEICO. HPV.
GEICO for your money.
Right. She says the man was negligent and didn't tell her about his health diagnosis despite having a throat cancer tumor that was confirmed to be positive for HPV. GEICO had told the woman it's an auto insurance coverage. GEICO told the woman the auto insurance coverage didn't apply because what? Huh?
But he collided into my body.
Yeah.
That's collision.
Didn't
Maybe she
apply
thought it was OBGYN co.
Right. Those letters can get is it pride or what am I even calling? Damages claimed did not arise out of the normal use of the vehicle. That's what GEICO said. But here we are. Here we are. The section. By the way, I've had a car. This is normal use. The sexual encounters took place in late 2017 because the car was covered by GEICO at the time. The woman says the company is obligated to compensate her for contracting HPV, citing medical expenses, pain, and suffering. The two signed an arbitration agreement in March of 2021, agreed to settle their dispute. Roughly 2 months later, the arbitrator was awarded $5.2 million, saying the sum, quote, would fairly and justifiably compensate her. By the way, I think do we have vaccines now for HPV?
If you're younger, you can get it, I think, at age 12. But if you're older, I don't know.
You get $5.2 million. GEICO then appealed to the higher state.
I feel for this woman because you can get cancer from this, and he already had the cancer, and I don't know if I agree with GEICO being responsible for this. That's like your landlord being responsible if you get AIDS from inviting someone over and having sex, right?
I just know he gave the oral, and he's like, "Why did I try so hard?"
I just feel like if this is the new precedent, it's gonna fuck everything up. Like GEICO has to take this to the Supreme Court and win, or else it will be chaos in society. Trans Am, like my parents will be getting like child support from Allstate or something.
Right. I was just thinking that. Like, what if she got pregnant? Do you get child support for the 18 or 20 years, however long it is?
Yeah.
Because he didn't tell me that he said he couldn't get anyone pregnant, and now I'm pregnant. Who's responsible?
The insurance giant said it hadn't been given a chance to defend itself. Yeah, because they thought it was a joke, violating its constitutional rights to due process and access to the courts. But in its ruling this week, 2 judges in the Missouri Court of Appeals said GEICO had numerous chances to act on its own behalf. Yeah, there you go. Show up. The other guys won't.
They had the balls to not show up?
Yeah, because it sounds so silly to them.
It sounded so crazy. They thought there's no fucking way.
Well, who's deciding that? The secretary of the company? Like, Don't you let lawyers decide what's crazy?
It's that Mighty Casey parable or fable or whatever the fuck that thing is called. You know that story they told us as kids about the guy that was really good at baseball, and he goes up and doesn't swing at like the first 2 pitches, and it's like all that like he swings at like shit that's like foul balls and stuff just to get the count up, and then he loses. That's what GEICO did. They were like, there's no fucking way. Don't even go to that shit, man. I'm not returning a phone call. Don't fucking answer the voicemail. And now look at him.
The judges noted that the woman had initially submitted a claim to GEICO more than a year ago. And in February 2021, the woman sent the company a copy of the lawsuit she was about to file against the insured man. At that time, she also offered to settle the claim for $1 million.
Whoa.
They're like, $1 million? Fuck off. And they're like, okay, 5.2.
Yeah. See you in court.
GEICO says the car owner's claims for coverage should be dismissed because they're barred by a number of legal doctrines, including fraud, collusion, illegality, latches, and unclean hands. They got jokes, too. GEICO says the car owner's claims for coverage should be dismissed because they're barred by a number of legal doctrines, including fraud, collusion. So I guess they're implying that these 2 people are working together. It's all made up.
I thought of that, yeah.
Illegality, latches, L-A-C-H-E-S, I don't know what that means, and unclean hands. It was the mouth, but...
Latches is unreasonable delay in making an assertion or claim.
All right. Let's see. The woman says GEICO acted in bad faith. How am I supposed to get through to a lizard and have a one-on-one conversation, she says.
That's who they sent to court.
Just little guys jumping up.
He had to get up on the desk. Your Honor, I would like to say some things.
This is a people's court. Get out. Geico acted in bad faith, she says, by refusing to defend the man who owns the car despite multiple requests and by refusing to settle her claim. She says the man was injured against his personal liability arising from his negligence, blah, 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 blah.
I wonder how much his insurance went up. Jeez.
Yeah, his premium's about to be a beast.
Yeah.
Damn.
It would have cost him less if he had a kid with this woman.
But picture, how do we go to this court case if it does reach a higher court? I want to see what's going on. Like, you got to ask what position you're in. How do you ask? Did you use the gear shift? You know what I'm talking about.
How unclean were your hands?
Yeah, this Depp Heard trial is going to look like a warm hug.
Yeah, right? I'd watch this. I didn't even watch Johnny Depp Amber Heard, but I'd take the time to be like, yo, you watching the Geico trial, dog? This shit is crazy.
The federal case is set for a jury trial. Oh, they're idiots.
All right.
Which is currently slated to begin in Kansas City in October.
Your Honor, we'd like to bring a cunnilingus expert to the stand.
I wonder, like, they're probably going to ask who came and how many times and deduct points based on that.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed yourself 3 different times. I see.
Yeah. He's going to lose because he's lying on his dick the whole time so he doesn't look bad. Right. Oh, yeah, Your Honor. I was in there all night. Break it down. You know how I do.
I'm reading that Boston, the city of Boston, is trying to rid its subway system elevators of their notorious urine smell by installing pee sensors in all the cars.
Yep, you're peeing.
Yeah, you're peeing. Normally it's just us. Hey, quit peeing. But now it's going to be like an alarm or a light.
Does it embarrass you or something? Is that the whole thing? Like the lunk alert at the gym?
The sensors will detect urine and allow transit workers to immediately dispatch cleaning crews right after the incident occurs. I picture them like running down the halls with the mop.
Guys, we got a 7-Eleven. We got a 7-Eleven. I repeat.
I could tell you that when my leg was messed up, I couldn't walk up the stairs into the subway station here in New York, and I had to take the elevators. Not one didn't smell minimum like piss. Not just like, oh, this must have happened today. I'm like, piss doesn't smell this bad right away, does it? It's so bad. I
was in an elevator that they obviously painted it with piss.
Yeah,
like the paint was mixed piss and I guess a primer. It comes with primer now.
You know, the worst part is gonna be drunk dudes are gonna absolutely love the pee alarm.
Of course.
It's going to be like scoring a touchdown or some shit, you know? Like, oh, he made the pee alarm go off.
How about if all your subways are breaking, put in a bathroom? It's a thought. It's a thought. If I have to pee, I have to pee. What the fuck do I care about? You're going to do an alarm. Get the fuck out of here. You don't have alarms everywhere. I could tell where you don't have alarms, where there's cobwebs.
By the way, it's alarming enough that your dick is out and some stuff is coming out of it, all right?
Yeah.
I'm alarmed.
They should just hire people that look like people's moms to just stand by the pee areas. Like
all races, like 6 different moms.
Yeah, 6 different types of moms, and they're all just in house coats, like with their hair covered up. Like,
city officials want the public to know that not only does peeing in the elevators leave a nasty smell, it can also damage the elevator's mechanisms. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's why they be moving so slow.
I see people pissing on all the buttons, and I'm like, you probably don't know about the electrics inside.
Guys, there's mechanisms down there. What are y'all doing?
Thanks for telling us.
We've been so ignorant.
Yeah. What does cum do? Is that okay?
The shit in this case work like manure does. Maybe it's good in some way for electronics.
I do like that they first of all, things are so good in Boston. This is the problems. You know what I mean? Right. Like, we got to up the fucking PE budget. Everything else is fine.
I wonder if the budget, instead of having like a cleaning crew run to this person who just peed, and let's face it, to this penis haver, because it's a little more difficult.
For sure.
Yeah. I wonder if it's more financially stable to just have an elevator person on the elevator all the time. Like, No, this alarm won't go off, but I dare you to take your dick out in front of me.
Just put a bucket on there.
And then the guy goes, wow, wow, wow. Get his piss all over him. He quits on day one.
That's it. You know how some urinals, they make it like a game to keep the splashdown from dudes because dudes just piss all over the place. Mm-hmm. So then they like, oh, score 3-point bucket or whatever right. Fucking you hit the target or whatever. Just put like a bullseye in a bucket and then just leave it in the corner. And I guarantee it'll be less piss spread. It'll be more piss, but less in a more condensed area.
Yeah, and then you could wheel your way just to like dump out the thing. Yeah. But I think this goes to what Keith is saying, and just fucking put a bathroom in. Right.
I'm sorry, but with the bucket, they can hire the Globetrotters in the ad, and it's like when they throw that bucket, but it's confetti instead of piss. Like there's like a whole promotion behind this that would make it fun for the city. Is all I'm saying.
And finally, a Mexican town celebrated a new footbridge by having local dignitaries take an inaugural stroll across it, only for the bridge to then collapse.
Ew.
8 people were injured. 8. When they fell into a stream after the Cuernavaca Bridge gave way. Nobody died. The mayor said the span collapsed because people were jumping on it right before the walk.
It still should not drop. I should be able to jump.
People are going to jump on it.
Yeah. We thought everyone would orderly cross one at a time.
You can jump on it, but don't jump on it right before the inaugural walk. Jump on it, make sure nobody has plans right after, and then let the bridge heal itself, and then it'll be ready for more jumping or walking.
This ain't one of them jumping bridges. Right. Come on.
They didn't know how excited people would be.
Did they put up a no jumping sign?
Like, be somber across this bridge, please.
Test jumps are still jumps. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you, Snicky. I didn't know that testing 1 2 jump. Mm-hmm. Well, what song were they playing? Because some songs just make you excited.
Can you put now? There's a sign next to it as they're rebuilding it. No jumping. Yeah. And there's gonna be no music. What the fuck's left? No rain.
Those people really found out what it means to be water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Wow. They're going to rebuild the bridge and just put a sign, no crossing.
Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, when it comes to replacing this thing.
And then you got to live in that town. And that's 50-50. 50% of people are like, yeah, you can't jump on a bridge.
Yeah.
Just walk. It was made to walk on.
Oh my God, please don't let our poll today be like, can you jump on a bridge in your town?
Can you picture breaking a bridge by jumping on it if it's right before an inaugural walk of at least 8 people?
It does literally answer that old Amish that my mom raised me on, which is if all your friends jumped off a bridge, mm-hmm. Would you? Apparently 8 people would.
Would enemies jump on it before we walk off?
I just hope they kept a 90-day receipt. For whoever built it, like, hey, we're gonna need that back.
Is it like, if you can sue Geico for HPV, can you sue some sort of bridge maker for just jumping? I don't know.
I'm gonna use it as a trick in my would you rathers. Me and Kyle do these a lot. It's like, would you rather lick a car tire or walk across a bridge? Take your pick. Whoops! People jumped on it before you walked.
Now you have AIDS.
Now you have HPV because a car drove by.
This is such bullshit, man. Someone need to go to jail. Like
they're trying to find out who jumped. They're trying to find these kids.
You know what happened? The people they hired to build the bridge called Keith for references. And he was like, bridge maker? Absolutely. The guy's the best, bro. What's bad about him making a bridge? I don't know. You know what? Now that I think
honestly,
about it,
his weakness is he builds the bridges too good.
He
built, you'll be able to jump on it, everything.
He built just so good. People will jump from excitement. Now they should have taken that and heed the call, but that's their decision.
I'm looking at the bridge right now. Scott put it in the chat there. But it looks like one of those bridges that you would see at a theme park, kind of those swing bridges. So it's just put together cheap.
It's Oh man, it's that bridge from fuck, I can't remember the reference of the show. It would have been so good. You know, the one with the Keith hates everything.
Indiana Jones, Fast and Furious.
No, the TV show where
Bridgerton.
The
Bridgerton with the bridges.
You know what? Here we go. Silent trailers. This show. Ready?
Okay.
This show. It's dubbed in English. The people die because they don't get the game right.
Squid Games.
Yeah.
Game.
Best in the business.
That's why he's so good. I wish Sharon Paul was here.
Well, it worked out.
So it's like the bridge from there. There we go. We got it. We got to it. Here
it's
we go.
a bridge to nowhere now.
What game was that with that bridge, by the way?
The bridge game. They had to cross the bridge, but like some of the things underneath them will not hold them and some will.
Oh, the glass.
The glass, completely different bridge. Got it. Kendra was just saying she understands what a bridge is.
This other time I saw a bridge was ready, everybody.
Him just gave us the abridged version of Squid Games.
See,
you're welcome behind the scenes, people. Behind the scenes, people. That's why you call me up, guys.
How you doing, Rod? How are things going in your life? How are things going with your show? I enjoy very much the Black Guy Who Tips.
Oh man, everything's going good, man. I can't complain. Love what we're doing over there. We're having a lot of guests. Which reminds me, I gotta send y'all an email, get y'all on soon too. Cause we're just
that's what we were getting at. What the
now
fuck?
that I'm home, I'm not in New York anymore. Everything's stable, and we're just having people come. We had Zach Sherman come on the show recently. MC Mr. Napkins. We've had we're gonna have Roy Wood Jr. come on the show. Like we got some big guests coming up, and thanks for everybody that crosses over and listens to both our shows.
Cross over that bridge. It won't fall. Don't worry about it.
So we don't burn bridges at the Black Guy Who Tips, okay? We stay friends.
Now, Rod has such a good attitude all the time. Every time we go, how you doing? He goes, can't complain. And I love that, right? But now I want to say, if you were on a bridge and I'm about to jump on it, if you had to complain, what would you complain about?
Definitely that the pandemic, right? Just we're still in this thing.
Nobody knows that though, do they, Rod?
Apparently not. I went out today to the grocery store and a UPS store, and I counted 5 masks in total in everywhere I went. And there were way more than 5 people in the places that I went. I really think they should put that on dating sites now. Like, OkCupid should have do you still wear a mask or not? Because I feel like that determines a lot for people. But yeah, so I definitely the mask thing is bad. And like, I miss playing basketball and stuff with my friends. And
do you ever feel pressure like you're the one dork with the mask?
All the time, man. I almost took my mask off when I was going somewhere, but then like recently 2 of my friends who've been very careful in the pandemic got COVID, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just be the weirdo.
But it bothers me because no one's wearing masks here either, and the law has changed. Very few people are wearing masks because they don't have to. And now I'm like, well, why would I wear a mask? I'm protecting everybody else, but I'm the one compromised, and I'm the one who, I don't know what to do. If I wear a mask, it's not doing anything anyway.
At the deli, I have my mask on, so the person is cutting my meat, and they're like, would you like to try a slice? I'm like, what does this mean to you? Does this mean nothing to anyone?
Yeah, it's over and we're dorks. Oh well.
By the way, Paige is writing in also backstage. I love the Black Guy Who Tips. I am listening to the back catalog. I'm back in 2015. You and Karen are the voices in my head most of the day.
Oh my God. That is so flattering, and also like so sorry. I don't know what the fuck we were saying in 2015. Hope it was good stuff.
And you really changed your opinion on racism.
I used to really like it.
Paige is confirming it's great stuff. So
okay, all right, cool. I don't think we had too many hot takes, back in the day, but I don't know. You never know, man.
Follow Rod online, you know that. Say hi to any of the guests we have on that you like, and we'll keep doing it. All right. Thanks for telling your friends, and we'll talk to you soon.